All right, hi everyone. We are at the halfway point of the semester, and that means it's time for our first exam. So exam number one is going to cover chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4. The exam is worth 150 total points, and this is how it's going to appear to you once it's open. Now, I'm recording this before the window opens. It opens at 12 a.m. or 12:01 a.m. It's actually 12 o'clock and 1 second, but I write 12:01 just to not have to write as many numbers. And then it's going to close at 11:59 and 59 seconds on Thursday night. So what that means is that you've got about a 96-hour window in which to take this exam. Anytime on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday of this week, you can take the exam. If you have not taken the exam and it is midnight on Friday morning, the exam has closed. You will not be able to access it anymore. So real quick, there are 30 questions on the exam. Every question is equally weighted at 5 points apiece. You're going to see some true false questions. You're going to see some multiple choice questions. And you're going to see a lot of fill in the blank questions. The fill in the blank questions are going to be either a quantitative answer where you're going to put the number in, or it's going to be a single word fill in the blank. So every fill in the blank, unless it asks you for a number, if it would be a part of a sentence, those are all going to be a single word. The capitalization doesn't matter, so you might as well just write them all in lowercase. There's a couple questions where I've identified some answers that I would also accept, and I've typed in multiple answers into the answer key. But if you're taking this exam, or when you finish the exam and you really think you got one right and you want to challenge it, by all means, bring it to my attention. The sooner the better, because perhaps you've thought of an answer that also could work, and I can add it to the answer key so it shows up for everybody else. You'll be able to see your score at the end of the exam, but you will not see any feedback, and you'll not see what the correct answer was until the exam window closes. This is one of the reasons I don't accept any late work in this class, because you can look at all of your quizzes and all of your exams as soon as the window closes. All the answers are there available to you. You just go to the My Grades section of your book. I'll just scroll this over in a second. Go to the My Grades section of your book right here. Click on that. Click on the quiz or test, and then click on the score you got, and it'll pull up all of the questions and all the correct answers. So feel free to use that as a study guide as you prepare for this exam. Please note that we are going to be taking this exam on Respondus Lockdown browser. If you don't have that installed, you can go to the sideboard on the page and install it right through Blackboard. There'll be a link to get it installed. The camera has to be on for the duration of the exam, but this also means you won't be able to access, if you have an ebook copy of the textbook, you won't be able to access it. For that reason, I have a PDF copy of the ebook here. So if you just click on this link at any time during the exam, once you start the exam, it will open in a new window for you. Okay, so you'll have access to it on a separate window that'll be accessible during the exam. So no worries, if you have the ebook, you'll have a PDF copy of the book available to you. No worries there. And then the last thing is the deadline. 11:59 p.m. on Thursday night is the deadline to submit it, not to start it. You have a 2-hour timer that starts as soon as you start your exam. If it closes, you can open it back up again, but the timer keeps running. As it's specified here, if you want that entire full 2-hour limit, you need to start by 9:59 p.m. Otherwise, what happens is, let's say you started at 11:30 p.m. on Thursday, and then you don't submit it until 12:30, you've not submitted on time. What's going to happen is that there's going to be 1 point for every minute tardy deducted from your score. I mean, if you submitted this at 12:01, is when I'm going to start the timer. So 12:01 is 1 point off, 12:15 is 15 points off, and so on. So just don't do that. You've got a 96-hour window to get it done. Section off 2 hours for yourself. I don't expect for most of you you'll take anywhere near that 2-hour mark, but some of you may want to use that entire time to make sure that you get every question correct. No worries there. You've got 2 hours do with it as you please, right? You've got, if it takes you 30 minutes, if it takes you 90 minutes, no worries there. A calculator, you cannot use your phones, tablet, electronic devices of any kind during this exam. If you have a physical calculator, you can show the screen that it's just a physical calculator, TI-84 or less, whatever you have. If you have a Casio, solar powered one, that's fine too. But if you don't have one, there's going to be a pop-up window on the browser. There'll be a little calculator icon up here in the top left. You just click on that, it'll open for you. So as you're preparing for the exam, anything from the chapter material that we covered is fair game. So really, just I would my word of advice would be go through the maybe the glossary at the end of each chapter for the key words, and then focus in on those areas to start with. I would definitely look at the quizzes you've already taken, at those 4 quizzes. Once the before you start, check out the chapter 4 quizzes, because there's potential that some of the questions were reused or changed in some way, or maybe different parts of the questions were what we're focused in on. But definitely, I would recommend having your textbook with you. And if you don't have a physical copy of the textbook, again, you just, pardon me, click on this link, it'll open up for you. You can have as many notes as you want, open notes, but those have to be handwritten notes. They can't be on an electronic device either. The questions will be random order. You'll get 1 question. You can backtrack. So if it clicks for you, that's another good advice. If you have the ability to backtrack, and if a question's not coming to you right away, just skip it and come back to it. That way you get as many questions answered within the time limit as you can. And that should be about it. If you have questions prior to starting the exam, please contact me. If you have an issue during the exam, I would recommend first thing you do is just restart your computer and log back in real quick. Because like I said, the timer will keep running. You do have the ability to rejoin if the window gets closed, but the timer does keep running during that. It does not reset. All right, that's all I've got. I'll see you in the next module. Once you're done with this exam, enjoy the rest of the week off. Thanks, everyone.